That's what you watch?
Dude, I watch cat videos all the time.
This is the kind of videos that Daniela makes me watch.
What the? Dude, why would you show me that? Is that real?
Yes.
What did I just see? I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. Oh my god. You know, one time I watched this Mexican beheading video, and that one just totally schooled me. So there's more like that?
Yeah, dude, it's a thing. Is that the worst video you've ever seen in your life? Apparently it gets worse. Apparently it gets way worse.
I'm gonna feel like gagging every time it comes to my mind.
Hi guys.
Hello everybody.
So we're back.
Congratulations to Adrian on the giveaway. I'm so happy for you. Again, to everybody else, there's going to be more and more and more, so keep on subscribing and all that good business. But again, Adrian, congratulations. I'm glad you won.
Which is really cool because that's what we were hoping for. We were really hoping for somebody that was new to guitar, somebody that could appreciate it and not just be like, oh, thanks for this guitar to add to my collection. Adrian is a subscriber. He commented on the right video.
Yes, the right video.
He did what he needed to do. When we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to have another giveaway, and we'll have details about that one coming soon. But today is all about
the bass. My bass. You know, I figured I'd just take you on the journey of how I became a bass player. Which ones I love. I mean, I really have one love of my life.
But, you know, I'm right here.
That's why I said one.
Oh.
These are just instruments. Oh, and by the way, I will never be replaced.
Somebody commented that my wife was hot. Well, it's pretty damn hot too.
You can't front on this, man. For me, it was never about the instrument. Most people fall in love with an instrument itself. The way I fell in love with bass, it was never, I didn't know what a bass was when I first came across it or I first heard it. It was the sound that I fell in love with. I feel everything. I can't write just to write. I have to feel. That's what made me love bass. My older cousins used to, you know, listen to a lot of music, and I remember I was like 8 or 9 and my cousin Patrick would always listen to music, but one day I just heard this sound coming from his room and I was like, oh my god, what is that? I sat by his room almost every day listening to it because he loved this album. Turns out it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I snuck into his room and figured out what band it was. Fast forward about 2 years later, he actually he buys the bass, and I hear him plug it in and I was like, oh my god, that's it. That's it. From then on, it was done. I knew I was going to be a bass player for the rest of my life. So this is one of my oddly favorite basses. This bass and I have been through a lot of things together. This is one of the basses that I will probably keep forever, but I never play. It's just an Ibanez Sound Gear, one of just the basic models. I'm a Fender man, but what I do love about Ibanez, they're my number 2. The sound range is just so much broader than any other bass. Most of them are active basses, which you have to use a battery. Pickups are active, the sound is a lot more hot. You get a lot more clank, a lot more thump. So that's what I love about the Ibanez basses. This one in particular is a passive bass, so there's no battery required, but at the time I liked how light they were. I like to jump around a whole lot, and this bass is very, very, very light. The neck is really thin. It was just easy to maneuver, easy to jump around with, easy to play with. But the sound, Ibanez has one of the best bass sounds in my opinion that I've ever experienced. So this is another one of my Ibanez basses, 6-string Ibanez. This one is active. I bought this one more so because I started getting into tapping. So on the difference on the 6-string is your B and your C, but the 6-string is the C string. 5-string you still have a B also. Yeah, this one it's deeper. As a bass player, I love more of the pretty sounding bass lines. I actually treat it as a guitar, like a guitar in the sense of tuning, so I can actually do like a guitar chord. There's a lot of pretty guitar chords that I love that you couldn't do on a 4-string. This is a fret wrap. I encountered these about 3-4 years ago. Basically all it does is when you tap without it, you get like this crazy buzz. can hear like the other notes, right? But the fret wrap, all it really does is just mute everything and it'll just give you a cleaner. That way you don't get all that buzzing and whatnot. I know it's weird that I said that I'm a Fender man. There's a story behind it. I said I'm a Fender man, but I own 3 Ibanez. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this one just because the way it looked. I just love the color, the pick guard. I love this funky old bridge. I mean, this is an Ibanez ATK. These have been around for a very, very, very long time. When I saw this one, I thought it was pretty. But then when I got it, I realized how amazing this bass really is. The options on this bass it's crazy. A normal ATK will typically only have your bridge pickup. This one has both. You have your switch here, you can go bridge pickup, neck pickup, or both. And then, you know, it has your typical bass, treble, mids. I hate mids. Yeah, basically what I love about this one is the same thing I love about all Ibanez basses. It's active, it's fat, it's warm. But the pickups on this one in particular give it a brighter, shinier tone, if that makes sense. This one has a lot more options than any other Ibanez bass that I've ever played. These Ibanez have a lot more punch. I like a warm tone, but I love treble too. Hate mids. I'll only give a skosh of mids if I have to, and that's really for when we record. I'll do a little bit more mids than normal, but live it's bass and treble. Paul loves the mids, half and half. I love it just because she's pretty. I dropped those mids. See, just taking those mids off. I'm a bass player. I want bass. I don't want clang. I don't want it to sound like a tin can. I don't want it to sound dry. I'm a bass player. I love bass. See, and it has more of that punch. The treble adds a little more. It shaves off a little more of that low frequency to shape the tone a little better. That's what I hear anyway. Yeah, see, I don't have my battery in this one, so that sounds weak. So this bass right here is my everything. It's my absolute favorite bass in the whole entire world. And it's the reason why I only own one Fender. I've had other Fenders before, a P bass, Fender Blacktop that had the humbucker pickups, and I have yet to find this bass is equal. I love the way it looks, I love the gold, I love the black. House sets on fire, before I get the cats, I'm getting my bass. This is my baby. I could literally just use this bass for the rest of my life and never want to change. The sound is beautiful. This particular bass I think came out 2005, 2006. It's the P Jazz Bass Hybrid. So it looks like a precision bass, but it has the setup of a jazz bass and a precision bass. This one is actually active. This is one of those basses that I just didn't have to modify. The only thing I did do is I put a hip shot on it. You know, being in heavier bands, sometimes you want to go lower. I don't like having to bow, you know, while you're playing live. So your hip shot, it just drops you down to your D, your A, whatever you're trying to get to. So that's all I've ever really had to do to it. This bass means everything to me. Feels great, sounds great. It's not a big, bulky bass, unlike the Ibanez. I've had a lot of basses. Even after this bass, I've owned a Warwick, Thunderbird. Hell, the list goes on. I don't even know. And I'm telling you, I sell them all because I can't. It's like trying to replace Paul. It's never gonna happen. You're gonna have fun on the side, but you'll always go back. Flea is he's a bass player that opened up my eyes to everything. As I had said earlier, I heard this monstrous tone coming from, my cousin's room, and I felt it deep inside, and I fell in love with it. So when I found out what instrument I was paying attention to, and then I found out who I was paying attention to, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers changed my life entirely. Our styles are very different. The way he loves bass and the way he loves music, it inspired me, and it still does to this very day. He's forever gonna be my #1.
Could you keep up with Flea on stage?
Jamming?
Yeah. Like if you could play a song with Flea and Red Hot Chili Peppers in general, could you keep up?
Yeah, but I have to know what song and I have to learn it. One of my dying wishes, everybody has those weird things, and one of mine, going back to the hardcore thing, why we started Texas Cutthroat, is because I can't let go of childhood. And there's this channel called Yes Theory, and if they were to ever make my dream possible to where I can hang out with Flea, I would die a happy man. Just to meet him would be everything. Gun to my head, 2 things I want to do before I die. I want to go kiss the Rocky statue, and I want to meet Flea. So when it comes to my style, my bass, I've been fortunate enough to learn a number of instruments. But the bass has always been what I've loved. It's always been what I've gravitated to. It's my comfort zone. It's my form of expression. I'm very introverted. I'm a shy person. But when I get behind my bass, it's like everything comes out. I'm allowed to say, feel, and do everything that's bottled up inside. It's cheesy, but it's my mouthpiece. It's how I get my emotions out. I'm not a trained bass player. My dad offered me lessons since day one, and I constantly turned them down. I've always wanted to know that what I play comes from me. That's why I'm always on the hunt for that perfect note. I wander my neck until I find it. If I'm jamming and I'm doing something, or Paul's doing something, and I land on that note and it makes me feel, again, I'm gonna keep saying that. Anytime anybody asks me about music, period, it's a feel for me. It's not a scale, it's not theory, it's none of that. It's a feel for me. And when I hit that note, I found that note. I didn't say, okay, well, so-and-so said if Paul's on this chord, well, I have to play these notes. No.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed Adrian's bass tutorial video, or whatever, I don't know what you want to call it. I've known Adrian for so long, and I actually learned a few things myself. This is probably going to be our last video before Christmas, so we just wanted to say Merry Christmas. There might be another one between Christmas and New Year's. Our next giveaway, again, 500 subscribers, another guitar with an amplifier. When I was a kid, I started playing guitar. I was like in 4th or 5th grade. I'll never forget, all my friends asked their parents like to buy them a guitar or drums or whatever. And that Christmas, everybody got an instrument, and that was my first band ever. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, share our videos.
From ours to yours, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.